Hey, good morning, Commissioner Lotta and Commissioner Niles, the drafting committee. My name is Commissioner Lasher, and today we'll go through each one of the uh, resolutions and get an update of where we're at and move forward so that we are ready to be able to send in Wednesday afternoon our final draft resolutions. We know that there could be other changes that it could occur between December 1st and the vote on December 8th and changes after that, whatever the commission comes up with at that time, so that we will be in operations through most of December, making any last minute corrections that need to be made on our resolutions. So the first one is ranked choice voting, and Commissioner Niles, you're the chair of that committee and working on that. So if you could give us an update of where we're at.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Hold on. Let's see if it works.
Something's happening.
Okay. Oh, hold on. There you go. See it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'm currently working on. In fact, after having some discussions with the elections office today, this is going to change. So this is just kind of this is a preliminary that I put together last night, but some of the things that are going to change. Some of the questions that we had that came up were was the renumbering, and so we have to in our resolution, and I'll go through it and I'll ask Chris Cook about this because she said you can't just automatically renumber them. It has to be in the resolution. So that's why I put section 1 new renumber current 6.2 offices designated to 6.1 offices designated. And so then you'll see 6.1, which is now, was 6.2, now 6.1, a mandatory, and this was an agreed upon change with the elections office because they are nonpartisan races now. So section 3, 6.2 is now 6.2, elections procedures. And so I kind of renumbered things to make, with the ABCD to make more sense because, we had like the canvassing board mentioned down in D. So I just kind of renumbered ABCD just to make it flow a little better. And since it's new, we can renumber without it, since everything is new. So A was, there's no issues with A. So we went on that. B, there's no issues with B as far as the canvassing board. That was something that was discussed with the elections office, and that was actually their suggestion to have the canvassing board be the one that adopts rules for implementation and tabulation, and we agreed with them. That's a great idea, and so that was included in the resolution. There was some questions about the language that we had originally around voters shall be able to rank six, a minimum of 6. And there were some questions, and though, so I talked to our attorney, and then I sent Chris Cook an email today with some more options. This is one of them. I did talk to Greg this morning, and so this may change. Can you guys see my cursor here?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The county canvassing board, by rule, limit the number of candidates voters may rank in order to accommodate technical limitations in the voting system used by the county, provided that such limitation allows voters to rank at least 6 candidates. So there was questions. This was when I talked to Greg today, I may take out, like when it says limit the number of candidates voters may rank in order to accommodate, to rank, and I'll stop right there. And then all of this, all of that I just highlighted would just be removed. Because there is, in practicality, there is other reasons that you may want to limit the number of candidates voters may rank. Ballot, room on a ballot is one of them. So there's more reasons, and I didn't want anything in the charter that, and when I talked to him, we kind of talked about like, well, maybe that shouldn't be in the charter, that people could misinterpret this as the only reason that they could make a change to the amount of voters can be ranked. Because otherwise you would have, say, the Heart system all of a sudden can rank 20 candidates, then you know, we just didn't. But then having 20 candidates in a large field would be huge, and so what I have highlighted may come out after I finish discussions with Chris and with Greg today. But it still provides us with the at least 6 candidates. And there was also questions like Chris Cook asked about, like, what do you do? What is it? What does it look like when there's fewer than 6 candidates on the ballot? And so I was going to go ahead and add it, even though our attorney said that's not really necessary. That's something that the canvassing board would, you know, could do. But there's no harm in having it if that would be helpful. And so that just says that if there's fewer than 6 candidates on a ballot, then the ballot shall permit a voter to rank the total number of candidates for such ballot, inclusive of any write-in candidate prevented by law.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So you might end up seeing what you see in front of you, but without that highlighted portion of that sentence. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, I think where you'll see a large number of candidates is when there is an incumbent no longer running and there's going to be a wide open field. Other than that, if there's an incumbent, it's going to be small.
Yeah. And I do want to tell you that, you know, when I talk to, you know, talking to, you know, elections office and talking to Christine Cook, they realize that these offices that are running don't historically have large fields, you know, so we don't have to. So this is a very, but just having it in the charter is a good thing, I think. So that's
I like that change too, Terry. I think that the charter doesn't need to be more complicated, you know, than it has to be, right?
right.
And that the auditor is going to be able to make some rules too on how they get through this. So
yeah. So to be honest, Greg Kimsey was perfectly fine with the one sentence that we had, and that was just that said that we, you know, voters shall be able to rank a minimum of 6 candidates. He was fine with that. I just want to make sure that we have everything that Christine Cook is asking for as well. So that's why it's getting to be a little bit more, but you know, whatever it takes to make it happen. So the next one is D, which this is language that the actual elections office proposed. And this was a clarifying language that they asked for, because this portion, this 6.1 or 6.2 now, talks about these nonpartisan races now. So this was actual language that they proposed. This is nothing new. This is how we run our elections now. And it was just a desire to make it really clear to voters when our elections are and when they occur. So that's why this language was proposed. This language also, so we aren't saying anything new, just at the request of the auditor, we are making sure that we are and the elections office, we are putting this in just for clarity, because since we do have nonpartisan races now, but in Clark County, these council positions and these positions run on the partisan schedule. They asked for it to be clearly defined right here. So Christine Cook, I think in theory has brought up an issue that it creates a disparate treatment for council people running in 1, 2, and 5, that they are not able to run for an assessor, auditor, clerk, prosecuting attorney, sheriff, or treasurer, and their position at the same time. And though we understand that that happens in every single county in the state. This is not something and as far as the fix for that would be to completely rearrange how we're doing things now and make the assessor, auditor, clerk, prosecuting attorney say run in off year elections. And that was not desired by, I think, even the people that put the nonpartisan resolution together. The desire was to keep them on their current schedule. So
I thought that was state law.
And just a second, I'm not finished, Doug. So no, they're nonpartisan now. So they're running on a partisan schedule. So so we just wanted to define, or the elections office put this language forward to define what we have now. And so that's why the subcommittee agreed to put it in the resolution. Does that make sense?
And it's something we talked about, and I think we decided that a future charter commission would have to deal with it because we didn't find a solution.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, John. That's something that that would be a huge change for this county, and not something that so all we're doing is clarifying this for the elections office, which they asked for, and I think that's good, because then people know exactly that we are staying on our schedule.
And that's the same schedule we've had for the last 150 years. So we're not. I would that'd be a lot different.
Right. So I mean, I understand the thinking that, oh, it's not fair. But to be honest, I don't think I can't, when researching it, there has never been a county councilor that I can find anywhere that wanted to run for the assessor, auditor, clerk, prosecuting or sheriff, or treasurer. So that has never happened from what I understand. And so we're talking about a very rare.
Yeah, and it won't go the other way either.
Yeah, so we're talking about a very rare thing that would happen. I think that some of this discussion was brought up because of the running for the council chair used to have that kind of disparate treatment for districts 3 and 4, but that I see as something that would come up more often than somebody wanting to run for assessor, auditor, clerk, prosecuting attorney. But the whole point is that's kind of out of the purview of the ranked choice voting resolution, right? We just want to clarify things, and so we made a couple of changes. We put this in for the auditor, and then we put this in as requested by the auditor as well. So that is that one. And then so E is the talks about if in the event of the Washington state law is enacted allowing the use of ranked choice voting to elect county offices, that law shall take the place of relevant provisions in this charter, except that voters shall be allowed to rank candidates for each county office in the manner described in 6.2C, which is this right here. We gave an implementation date of January 1st, 2026. And that we gave that date because after discussions, with elections office and auditor and stuff, having it in 2024, which would be our next election if it was passed, would be in a presidential race. And I do understand the hesitancy to have the first ranked choice voting election on a presidential race, which is already kind of an extremely busy and stressful time for the elections office. So the ranked choice voting committee recommended 2026 as our beginning date.
So in that way, they could just focus on the two races on the ballot and make it a little simpler, unless somebody resigns that year or
Yeah.
the year before.
So that's about it. And so this is, so I think that what I have to do today with Christine Cook is talk to her about this renumbering and how, because she said, oh, they don't automatically get renumbered just because you renumber them, and how to go about doing that. Do I just, and is that wording okay? And how that happens. Yeah.
So when you're done with the wording and numbering, you'll get back to me so that I could finish up the resolution and send it back out to you, or do you want to wait until tomorrow
Well,
night?
hopefully I'll get, have something for Kristen Cook. We'll have something decided. I did send everything to Greg and everything and talk to him this morning. So if he has anything he wants to add and stuff, that'll be on there as well. The ranked choice voting subcommittee is, I've been keeping them updated, and at this, they're going. Nothing that we're doing is changing the intent of what they wanted. So they are happy with language changes if the intent remains the same. So so I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I'm also meeting with them on Tuesday evening.
Right.
You have a question, John?
Yeah, and I sent you an email about it this morning. I don't know if you want to address it here or just think about it. The question was, what about charter review commissioners elections? Because doesn't seem to be included in the current resolution language. And right now, the charter review commissioners are still elected, not ranked choice, but whoever gets the highest number of votes wins on the first round.
Yeah, and I saw that, and we hadn't discussed that, and it's not really something that I think there's a lot of will within the subcommittee to go, oh, let's add the charter review commissioners to that. The charter, yeah. So it's at this point, since we're kind of narrowing things down, it's, for me, it's not really something that I kind of want to.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal, but it's a question that'll come up. I'm sure it's a question that'll come up. So
right. So that is something, because when we have our first ranked choice voting election, which would be 2026, that would be the new charter review commissioners would be elected in that year. And that's something that maybe the charter review commissioners could address, the new ones, because there'll only be one election before that. But at this point, I don't, adding another, because when you think about it, that adds quite a few ranked choice voting elections, because that would be 5, right? 5, and that would add 5 new ranked choice voting elections to the 11 that we at one time. So I am happy with not addressing that at this time.
Okay, so I understand you considered the team considered it and decided that it's not to be. They didn't want to address that. That was really all I needed.
My understanding.
Was about. Okay.
My understanding is the team looked at section 6. Section 6, which deals with nonpartisan elected officials. That's all we were tasked with, and that's what we looked at.
Yeah,
Okay.
it and for the auditor's office, that would put an additional burden on them for that first ranked choice voting. If they could just do 2 races, uh, just so they get be successful on that, then they could look at down the road adding more, and that's something that the next Charter Review Commission could uh, decide.
I agree with you. And so,
Agreed.
yeah, so we were just tasked with the ranked choice voting and around this and around our elected officials.
So, you'll have a meeting tomorrow night to wrap it up, or did you want to have the resolutions pretty much laid out for your committee to to look at it? I don't know how you want to handle that.
Do you know what? That's a good question, Doug, and I will probably have the resolution ready to go and just have them look at it. Tomorrow we'll probably just talk about our presentation, what that's going to look like, questions that may come up, and those kind of things. I have talked to ranked choice voting members, and like I said, one of them goes, well, this didn't happen last time when I was on the ethics committee. Nobody contacted me about ethics changes. The drafting committee and kind of took care of all the language changes and everything. And as long as the intent is still the same, what they wanted, they're fine with any
Well,
changes.
yeah, I'm just thinking about my workload
Oh, I
for the
know.
next. So that's
One thing I think would be a good idea, Doug, is John is really good at formatting those resolutions as well. I did drop some of this language into a Word document, but of course I screwed up all the numbers. So you guys can, so I have something, but I did a bad job and screwed up some numbers. So I will let you guys do that because the numbering thing along the side is the hard part, right?
No, it's not. But when it's not hard at all. Word does that for you. But when is the when do you need this? When are you going to be ready to have it done? I think that's what we need to know so we can get working on it.
I'm gonna talk to our meeting tomorrow, John, is at 5 o'clock. So I'd like to have something, and they don't have to look at the actual. My committee doesn't have to look at the actual resolution. What I'm showing you here is what's going to be in the resolution. So as far as presenting to them, I can just present that with the changes that I come up with today, right? Because this is the resolution without all the whereases and all that other stuff.
So we have to have the resolution ready we want to have the resolution ready by the 8th. Is that correct, Doug?
well, actually, no, we want to have the resolutions done by Wednesday late afternoon, so we
Yeah,
could get them out to the commission, so they have a full week to look at the resolutions. So
yeah.
that's why uh, I have some adjustments on some of the others to do yet, because we have the vacancy committee meeting on Wednesday. So I like to try to get as much done prior to the vacancy meeting so that I could just concentrate on the vacancy in the Wednesday afternoon. I'm just trying to look at my schedule. But John, if you wanted to deal with I think I sent it to you. You should have the resolution, the formatting that I did there, the wording and the other modifications that may change the number, the lines, uh, will be something that Terry will be presenting. Do you want to give it to? Are you willing to do
No,
it, John?
We're
I
talking
don't
about
have
ranked choice
to.
voting, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Terry and I can work to do that, to
perfect.
get that together,
So
Terry.
just to make you guys clear, I don't have to present the finished resolution to my committee
Right,
on
right,
Tuesday night.
right.
I
No,
can
I'm talking
present,
Wednesday.
yeah, I
We
can
want to
present
have it,
this.
we want to have it ready. So as soon as you have as soon as you think you have the words right, then I can put it into a resolution format for you.
John, did I send you the resolution form? I don't know if I did or not. I could send you what I did, and you could take it from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Because there'll be adjustments that have to be made.
all right. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure you did, but
I
if
don't
you,
know if I did or not.
I don't know either.
So you know what, you guys, I will take this document right here, which is what you're gonna be dropping into the resolution. You know, section 1, section 2, section 3, and you know that then it has the directions to staff and stuff, which is kind of formatted, you know, the same for all the resolutions. I will change this and then I will send you guys both the um, what our final thing ends up being after discussions today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'll send what I did if you didn't get it. I'll send it anyway to you, John.
Okay, I will. I'll just
Now,
focus. I'll try
I
and focus on that.
Well,
Thanks.
just to let you know, Doug, that one is very different than what we're going to end up. So you might want to start from scratch because even the A, B, C, D and everything is different.
okay.
You know,
Yeah,
Yeah, John can work on that.
I can take that. I can use Doug's beginning and turn it into yours, Terry. I can do that.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
because we had issues around like B, like if you look at here, this was down here. I think it was C, and I just thought that since we're going to be talking about the canvassing board here in C, that having B first would probably, you know, having this direction too of describing what the canvassing board does should be B. And so I changed a bunch of things around. So what's previously was put in there. And so you guys might just want to
I
wait until I send you this document with the final.
just okay. I'll wait. I'll wait for that.
Perfect. And then the other thing around my understanding, and this is just me, my understanding is that when we will send out the resolutions to everyone. When I present my a presentation of what and this is what I'll be talking to my team about on Tuesday. When I present my presentation to the commission, it'll be just basically this part of this document because this is what is really it would just be this. And so I will have a slideshow with that on it because that's what we're presenting. The actual resolution form and that kind of stuff we'll send out to them. That's what they'll be voting on the 8th. So they should have that. But this is what they need to kind of understand the whys for all of these and why this subcommittee is recommending. So that's what my presentation is going to be
cool.
about.
So Terry, what would you, in a few words, what would you call ranked choice voting? Empowering the voter?
And it's just, well, it's just giving more choices and I have FAQs that I'm going to send out as well around that, and that'll be included, Doug, as well, because I have FAQs to go on the on the website as well. And so when we do send out as the subcommittee chair, we'll be sending all of that out to commissioners as well.
Okay, so allowing voter choices is what you would, if
Yeah, but
someone
I'm
was,
not gonna yeah, that's yeah.
okay. I'm just trying to
Okay.
get some bullet points that, because sometimes that's what people will just look at is
Okay, well,
the
that's something for
principle.
us to do. That's something for us to do in the ranked choice voting subcommittee, not particularly in the drafting committee. So
Yeah,
we,
well, I
but
was
we
just
will
curious
we'll
if you were
talk
here.
about that in the subcommittee.
Okay.
Meeting. Okay, cool.
Uh,
Okay, any other questions about this resolution that we have going forward? It's looking really good, you guys. I really I feel really good about it, and
yeah, it looks
Yeah,
good to
you've done a
me.
lot of work. You've done a lot of really good work on it. So,
oh, thank you, John.
it's good that everybody's on board with it, especially the people that are going to implement it.
I know. I had somebody going, I know you're trying to make everybody happy, Terry, but but I am. I'm trying to, find something that works for
That
everyone. And
that's
so
what government's all about.
I know. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm done here with the ranked choice voting. Then what's number
The,
2?
number 2 is a consultation regarding county manager appointment, and which is that one is done. I think I sent both of you copies of the resolution. Um, I don't think that there's any other changes. That basically it's just a resolution that fosters communication between elected officials. Um, and I didn't know if you had any other uh, comments on that or not. We did take out the one section. Chris did have um, which I knew that probably would about the elected officials being involved in the review of the applicants for the position for county counselor. So we dropped that one. She felt that was um, getting into territory that between the role and responsibility of the counselors and the executives. So we dropped that.
So I think that John had a question about, did you have a question about this? I thought I saw something in an email that you had a question about the public meetings.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Doug and I, yeah, Doug answered that for me,
Oh,
but
he did. Okay.
yeah,
Okay, good.
it was really that one meeting is sufficient. So that was
Okay.
his answer in 4 words.
Okay. Okay,
The
I'm
next,
good with that then. Unless anybody, John's really good at looking at detail. Did you see anything else in the resolution that or is it okay?
No, I didn't actually. I thought everything looked good to me. We're talking the consultation
Yeah.
one, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Because your RCV is still on the screen, so I didn't want
Oh,
to make sure we're not confusing the issues.
You may
yeah,
want
let
to take
me,
that one off.
yeah, I will.
Uh, the next one is the charter preamble, which describes the purpose of the Clark County government. And John, that was your committee, and it looked good to me. I think we're ready to rock and roll on that one, unless you had any other um, changes. I don't think.
Yeah, that's I've got it shared on the screen now, and we did have some discussions. Terry is also on the preamble committee, and just want to make sure that these are the words that we all agreed on. I double checked them a couple times, but
Looks good, John. I'm good with that.
okay.
Okay, and
We
you have
answered the
copies.
question about. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you have the resolution then. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've got it up here. So and we answered the question about the numbering, and Chris Cook told me that yeah, it's the year is the year that it was hatched, not the year that it gets on the ballot.
Okay, thanks.
And the next one is I know they have executive office vacancy appointment on the agenda, but it's really elected officials vacancy appointments, and that's a process to efficiently and transparently fill um, the temporary elected positions for continuity of operations purposes. Uh, that committee is going to be meeting on Wednesday. Um, we pretty much have everything. Uh, the changes that the uh, legal counsel had suggested. Plus, I did bring up, which I like. That's part of the reason for additional discussion. And Terry, for your information, um, there is a section there where it talks about the appointment process and the I'm just slipped my mind here. What the process? In the selection of the county council positions, and that we wanted it to have more of a process that's for nonpartisan that is more along the lines of what cities do. And Greg Anderson had some information on that, and I just made some wordsmithing on that piece, and so that's something that we're going to be discussing. We will have hopefully a resolution of all of that, so we'll have a document ready to go by Wednesday noon, and I could work on whatever changes the committee comes up with and have it ready to be sent out Wednesday afternoon. Um, so anyway, it's I don't know if you have any questions, Terry, because John's on the committee and he'll be actively making a decision on if we're going to make any changes or not.
No, I think that given the fact that both you and John are on the committee, that I am going to defer that this. You guys have a majority to whatever you guys decide works.
Okay. Yeah, John, did I sent? Yeah, you and Greg probably got the suggestions in there, and we could talk about them and get them resolved. But I was trying to provide a little more clarity in terms of the wording.
Yeah, and I think what Terry just said means that you and I are going to have to agree on whatever we decide, Doug, or else she
Sure.
won't go along with it.
Yeah. Well, it's we get half votes and she gets a full vote, huh? Okay. The next one is which is number 12 is initiative referendum, and that's basically signature reduction. And I did send some information to Terry, who's the member of that committee, and wanted to just let's see. I don't know if I could. Um, I can't. I don't know how to share this, but it was the under A, Terry. I had just changed the language around instead of using the word the following at the beginning. I put it at the end, so it flowed better.
I'm trying to pull that up because I know
Yeah.
that there was some questions from Christine. So
Yeah, and her questions I pulled. I mean, I took those pieces out.
you took them out. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the only other change I was proposing was where the prosecuting attorney shall mark the box that reflects his or her opinion. Uh, it says the petitioner may include the statement on the petition. I was proposing that it should be shall instead of may because it doesn't allow transparency. Because if people should know if they're signing something, what the legal counsel has ruled, whether this is a qualifying document, because it sort of is masking or hiding that something may be illegal. So everybody they're signing and getting thousands of signatures, and then find out that what they were doing was illegal, and people are signing up for something that is not legal, and so.
Okay, so I am, and I think that you talked to me about this, and I'm okay as long as I'll have to pull up um, Christine Cook's opinion on that. My big thing with the
She
initiative,
doesn't know that part, though. I have to
yeah,
talk to her
my
about that.
big thing with the initiative referendum thing, and I think that what we talked to the commission about was really about changing the percentage. So that's
Right.
where,
Right.
I mean, if for some reason there's like real pushback about anything else that is being proposed. The only thing that I'm gonna, be like, okay, well, I don't feel strongly about pushing on that. What I do feel strongly about is changing our percentage because it's unrealistic and citizens cannot bring an initiative forward,
Right.
as it is. So if we get to a point where it's just like, you know, which is a simple markout from 10 to 8%. If that's all, if that's what we have, that's what I'm good with. But I'll have to bring up.
Yeah, the first part of the wordsmithing is just to make it more consistent with what's already in the charter, which is lines 31, basically. Um, that's in the section above, and it's just trying to make them uh, more clear and readable. That initiatives are limited by state and federal law or federal law or court interpretations and may not be proposed or adopted, including the following, which then gives you a list of the following, which is already in the charter. So
Okay,
it's
it says
basically just a wordsmithing. The issue, which should be the most controversial, would be changing the word may to shall. But I feel that transparency should be part of our efforts rather than allowing it so that a petitioner could hide whether something is legal or not, illegal or not, I should say, and according to the legal opinion. So it just everything needs to be out in the open of what um, is out there. The other question I have, which I will ask Chris, and that is the word ordinance. I've heard in some instances, so it makes sense the way it's worded in this charter. Um, I've heard that they sometimes don't like to use the word ordinance, so I wanted to just they prefer the word resolution. So I need to just double check with her, verify. Do you want to still stay with ordinance, or do you want to change the word to resolution? There is a difference, and I believe it deals with the process of creating an ordinance versus a resolution. And that's more of a thing that happens internally within the county. And both have the same effect in the end. So I just wanted to make sure that uh, given the opportunity, if she wants to change that wording, that we can. If she doesn't, then I'm fine leaving it the way it is. So it's something that we always try to stay with. Ordinances seem to have much more processes that you have to go through versus a resolution, and it allows more flexibility. So that's all that I have on the initiative referendum, which is number 12.
Is,
And,
is there much more in this meeting? I just got a call from my sister. Her husband just passed away.
oh
So,
dear, no.
um,
Let's. I don't have anything more. Terry, do you?
No, I think we're good. I'm sorry, John.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I will.
Let's wrap it up.
Just yeah, I will. Let me pull this down
I think
here
we're
and
on
shut off
track.
the.
so I'm gonna work with Terry and Doug to to put the ranked choice voting into the resolution format, and we'll do that in the next couple of days. So that's,
Okay.
Okay, great.
All right. Take
I'll keep
care.
up.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye,
Take
you
care.
Okay.
guys.
Bye bye. I'm stopping everything.